it's Kevin here. Time for a video for OET. It's been a long time, but nobody's been sending me any letters. Anyway, first things first, wherever my finger's pointing, where is it? Yeah. Disclaimer. Fair use, non-profit, for teaching purposes, copyright materials, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so no complaints, if you please. So, somebody sent me a letter in my Telegram group, Prepare OET, so we're going to take a look at that. So, it's Betty Johnson. Again, copyright, don't be complaining. Betty Johnson. So, what do we do first? Well, hang on. We go, yeah. So, you go to the task first, alright? Audience and purpose. So it's a referral to her GP to update him on her condition following a recent surgery and discharge from rehabilitation. Okay, so let's take a look at the scenario. So we've got all this stuff here. Now, as I keep saying, audience and purpose, right? So you've got your 6 different things. You've got purpose, content, conciseness and clarity, genre, style, organization, and the linguistic components, all right? So go for the notes, think, right, who are you writing to? You're writing to the GP. So everything that they need to know, give it a tick, 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 tick. Everything that they don't need, think GP, cross it out. Anything of secondary importance, put a 2. And then it's about constructing the narrative, telling the story. But let's have a look at it first. So we've got Betty Johnson, she's a widow, alright. Past medical history, probably don't need that, we don't need all that. Regular meds, might need that. She's a widow, 4 children, well, don't really need that either. Lives alone, so might need some assistance, we'll see. So we've got what happened in the post-op, okay, and then what else have we got here? What happened? So there's 2 different things here, right? So there's what happened. So the GP knows the patient, right? So you don't need to include any previous medical history or background because he's the GP. I think it says to her local doctor, right? So he knows all the background. Don't have to tell him. That would be irrelevant. What he doesn't know, what happened in the surgery, in the operation itself, and what he also doesn't know is what you recommend for a rehabilitation. Okay? Anything else, don't tell him. So let me see. Good surgery, wound clean, seems pretty straightforward, successful operation, rehab, mobility using crutches, frame, stick. She's able to go into pool, do some gentle exercises. Needs assistance with a shower. No cardiac issue, so wounds healing. Physio's good. So she needs home nursing assistance for personal hygiene and home care. Expose the wound, and then you've got the discharge meds. Advice to go to the GP, who you're writing to in a week. Rehab appointment in 2 weeks. Okay, seems pretty straightforward. So let's have a look at the letter. Okay, so it's handwritten, so I can't make any changes. I'll have to spell it out. So I'm writing to. Hang on, see if I can make this. Can I make this a little bit larger? Why won't this? No. Oh, it doesn't seem to want to expand. So I'll hang on. Maybe I can. No. Okay, well, anyway. So, you've got your address, you've got your greeting. Now, usually you put the DOB, right? So you put the reference line, put the DOB, right? Because most of the case notes, have them. Writing to refer, Miss Johnson. Now, you're not referring, right? It's a referral when you're sending so when you're the GP and you're sending your patient to a specialist, it's a referral. You're writing to the GP to update him or her, in this case him, on the condition of his patient. So it's not a referral. And it's not your further assessment. Well, he's not assessing her. So this purpose is right off of the bat. It's no good. So if you're writing to a specialist, right? If you're sending your patient to a specialist, that's referral. It's like I'm writing to refer Miss Johnson, who requires further assessment and management of her symptoms of blah, 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 blah. Okay? But this is not a referral. So you could say I'm writing to update you, because that's what you're doing. You're updating the GP. I mean, what does it say? What's the actual word? Yeah, look, it actually says here. So to update him on her condition. All right, so it's an update. It's not a referral as such, as in you haven't met. Let me introduce you to this patient. In fact, it shouldn't even say that, because it's an update. So I'm writing to update you on the condition of your patient, Miss Johnson, blah, 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 blah. Okay? Because if it's my patient and you've got the name of a DOB, I'll go into the files. So you don't have to say an 81-year-old lady, because I would know, because it's my patient, because it says local doctor. Now, presumably, so again, we have to look at these notes, right? Well, it says here, right, her local doctor to update him. So if it's an update, it can't be a new. It's not a new patient coming to a GP. On some of them, you might get that, right? So, like on some of the letters, say it's an elderly patient and they're moving to a new area, maybe to be with their family. That happens a few times. Then that GP at that practice doesn't know, so you would inform him of her, refer her to like him and tell him all the stuff. So you can say, I'm writing to update you on the condition of your patient, Miss Johnson, following her recent surgery for right total knee replacement, and to inform you of her management plan. You could say that. You could say, I'm writing to inform you of the condition of your patient, Miss Johnson, following her recent successful right total knee replacement. You could do something such as that. All right? Now, don't put this highly appreciated. I keep seeing this sentence. If you look at the official samples, they don't put it there. You usually appreciate it at the bottom when you restate the purpose. In view of the above, I would appreciate if you could, or it would be appreciated if you could, blah, 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 right? So you don't usually put it. This is what they call a memorized sentence in many exams, because it's, your further assessment. Well, he's not assessing her, is he? So, and appreciated by whom? Appreciated by you, appreciated by her. So don't use it. OET, and they say this about both writing and speaking. If you don't need to use a sentence or a phrase, don't use it. If you're just writing or saying something just for the sake of it, to bump up the word count or for something to say, don't do it. That's what they say. Anyway, so I would change that purpose for sure. Right. On the 25th of 2nd, Miss Johnson had it's countable, yeah? Had a right total knee replacement due to, right, now, it's not necessarily clear for me, these case notes, but if he's her GP, he knows this about osteoarthritis, and which had worsened, or which had been worsening. So that verb form needs to change. So, right, Miss Johnson had a article, it's countable, right total knee replacement due to osteoarthritis. Conciseness. You don't have to say as she was suffering from osteoarthritis, which if you did want to include it, you would have to make it past perfect, which had worsened during the past 3 years, or which had been past perfect continuous, which had been worsening for the last 3 years. So if you wanted to keep that, you would have to change the verb form. But you don't really need it. Like I say, if he's a GP, he should know this, all right? And I told right up the replacement due to osteoarthritis. Now, there's no however. There's no however. There's no contrast. You use however when you say, this is good, however, this was bad. This was successful, however, this needs attention or something. There's no contrast. So, a post-operative period was, Miss Johnson had a successful right total knee replacement due to osteoarthritis. Her post-operative period, no contrast, because it was a success. Post-op was uneventful, no contrast. The post-operative period was uneventful, except for a low blood count, for which a blood transfusion was given. Okay, you could put that. Additionally, morphine was prescribed to reduce pain. Well, okay, but I would imagine it might be painful to replace your kneecap. So, do I need to know that she was given some painkillers? Unless the morphine part, unless that's set her on the path to morphine and heroin addiction, which it probably didn't at 81. So it's like, okay, she was given morphine. Okay, if you want to tell me that, but all I want to know is, was the operation a success, yes or no? Were there any complications? Well, she was given a blood transfusion, but that's kind of, operation. We might need a bit of extra blood. Do I need to know she was given morphine? You can tell me, but again, if you think about it, I'm the doctor. Do I really need this? She's out of hospital now, so hospital part was successful, relative, uneventful. So what I want to know now is, what's the rehab? What do you want me to actually do? I mean, if we go back, right? Update him on her condition. So I want to know, right? Operation was a success. How is she now? What do you want me to do? And that's it. Referral to the doctor, so she's got some assistance. So surgery uneventful, mobility, she's walking around, things are good. She just needs a bit of personal assistance, and she needs to go to rehab in 2 weeks and come and see me in a week's time. That's basically it. Okay, so the following day, article, the following day, Avatar was restarted as it has stopped. Present perfect, as it had stopped. Past perfect, as it had stopped before. Now, as it had stopped, so did it stop itself? Probably not. So it should be passive, as it was stopped before. Now, right. Now, just thinking about it, that could be your handwriting. That looks like a H, right? If it's a W, as it was stopped, okay, forget what I just said. But that looks like, I can't tell, is that a H or is it a W? Now that's a W there. Is that a W? Is that a H? Okay, so this is why marking is subjective, and you can apply for a remark. So, right, as it had now, if it has stopped, if that's a H, right, if it has stopped, as it had been stopped, it would have to be past perfect. If that's a W, as it was stopped, forget what I just said, because, alright. Anyway, in addition, subcutaneous clexine were commenced, or she was commenced on. A blood test report came back normal. Well, you don't need to tell me what there isn't. Really, if you think about it, you would tell me if it was abnormal, but would you tell me if it was normal? Do you need to tell me every single thing. Anyway, on subsequent days, removal of dressing was done. So you could simply say dressings were removed. With alternate clips off. Furthermore, Miss Johnson. What's her name? Yeah. So you always put like name first, and then you use your pronouns. Miss Johnson was able to walk with minimum or minimal assistance, and hence that's a bit old-fashioned. Hence, and on the 63rd was shifted to rehab, admitted to rehab. During Miss Johnson's genitive possessive, so Miss Johnson's stay in rehab, she was mobile to activities of daily living with little help. A couple of investigations were ordered, which revealed no abnormal. So again, you're telling me something that, so something was ordered, but it didn't show anything. Now, when you're talking about test results, do you really need to like say so-and-so tests were ordered which showed blah blah blah, or would you simply say blood tests? So instead of saying a series of blood tests were ordered which revealed blah blah blah, for conciseness sake, couldn't you just say blood tests showed blah blah blah? Anyway, so you don't need to tell me what there is not. Her blood counts improved and warfarin use was reduced today. Miss Johnson was discharged with home nursing services, auto. The discharge medication includes warfarin, Filatab, rehab appointment scheduled in 2 weeks. Now, right, again, you have to interpret. If I'm the GP, I probably know that she lives alone. She had a history. Well, she has a history. She's not dead, so she still has this. She has a history of aortic valve replacement, pacemaker insertion in 2010. So, what's the purpose of putting that information there? What's that got to do with her knee replacement, etc.? So it's like it's filler. It doesn't serve any purpose. So one, I should know that she lives alone. Okay. The second thing is she had a history. She has a history because it's not finished yet. And what's that got to do with what you're telling me now? Where's that information? Where's it come from, and what's it doing there? So, in view of the above, I would be grateful if you could see her in 1 week and repeat as well as manage accordingly. Should there be any queries, don't hesitate to contact me, not to contact with me. It's to get in touch with me or to contact me. Yours sincerely, Doctor. Okay, so not too bad. Some minor grammar. So don't forget, you have to think about purpose, content, conciseness and clarity, genre and style, organization and layout, and language. Keep all those 6 in mind. So that's not so bad. A few things, as I said, I would change, but in general, that's not too bad. So hope that helps. Yeah. If anybody sends me any more letters, links below, I'll make a video. That's what I'm waiting for. We've got 4,000 members in the group on Telegram, and I barely get any contact. People don't seem to want me to comment on their writing or anything else. Anyway, that being said, and links to my profile on italki if you want personal assistance, and my podcast, cavesenglishpodcast.com. That's my new venture. Just started a couple of weeks back. There's a few episodes there. If you would like to, if you're a GP or taking OET and you'd like to be a guest on my podcast to talk about that or anything else, feel free to contact me, because looking for guests to come onto my podcast to have a bit of a chat. Okay. Anyway, hope that helps. Links below. I'll see you later.